Okay, this is the second part of the router on a stick. We're going to show how to put an IP on a VLAN, and this will serves as a little bit of a review actually for the first part. So here we are in Packet Tracer again. We need to go back and create the VLAN. So I'm going to put him on port FA24. It's not doing anything. So here we go. Enter to get started, enable, go to privileged user mode, config terminal to go into the configuration terminal. And then we need to go after interface FA020. 024, sorry. I forgot to say fast Ethernet for the 5,000th time. Fast Ethernet 020. Okay, so now we're configuring FA020. We want to say, before we do that, let's create the VLAN on the switch. So I'm gonna back up a step here. I don't recall doing that yet because I'm gonna need the VLAN. I think it'll actually just automatically create it. If I'd gone ahead there and said access mode VLAN 99, it would have gone ahead, I believe. So config terminal. But I like doing things stepwise because sometimes you can't skip a step. So here we want to go VLAN 99. That's our new network. Okay, so now we've got one of those. Now we can try to do interface here. It may not let me. Fast Ethernet. I think 024. Yeah, okay, so it kind of hopped me over there so I can configure the interface. So the interface itself here on the switch, we don't necessarily, for the purpose of this, what we're doing right now, we don't necessarily have to set it up to run through the switch on the trunk, although it would be quite easy to do that. It would just be a matter of adding another virtual interface. If we have time, we'll do that on the router. So I got to switch port the mode to access. And then switch port access to VLAN 99. Okay, so now that's the virtual local area network 99. Now here's the part that's different. Now we're going to treat the VLAN as if it were an interface. So we're going to say interface VLAN 99. Okay, so now we're configuring the VLAN, and what we want to do with it is give it an IP address. So we're giving one of the it's going to be one of the ports, right? 24. One of the ports on the switches is going to be its own VLAN, and it's going to have an IP address on the switch. We're going to call this the 3 network. And I'm not going to call it 1 because it's a router. We'll call it 3.3. Makes sense. Easy to type. It's still /24. Okay, so he's got did we say switchboard access? Yeah. No. Yeah, we did. So that port is running on 99. That VLAN has a okay, so now we want to do something with that, like being able to telnet into it. Now, normally don't want to use telnet. I'm just kind of doing this as an example. This same method that we're using right here could be used to set up an SSH connection, which would be more secure. And I'm not even using a secret password. We're just doing this very briefly to show you that you can put an IP address on a switch and then remotely connect to the switch from wherever you have access to it through the network. You don't have to be physically present, or present. President would be nice, but you don't have to be physically present in order to work on this switch. And if you're an administrator, you always like that, and you want to be able to sit at your desk and manage everything from your desk and not have to keep running down to the server room. Okay, so we're going to use the line command, which is what's going to set this up. And we're going to say on the switch VTY, there's a virtual terminal. I'm going to give it all of them. You don't have to give it all 15. And I'm going to set a password because you need a password of some kind for telnet to work. Set to Cisco. And then I have to enable login. So if you decide you don't want this access, go back here to line VTY 0 through 15 and say no access. Right? Go back here and say no access. I'm sorry, no login. No login. But we're going to say login, which enables login. No login would disable it. Okay, so I haven't said no shutdown on this guy, so I'll do it. I'm not sure that it's necessary. It's probably already up. No, it doesn't even want me to do that. So mainly because I'm in the line mode here, I'm not in interface mode any longer, but it should be okay. I think we're all set. I don't think we need to do anything else. So now you see we don't have anything here on the .3 network, so I need another workstation that's going to be on the .3 network, and we're going to call this one 192.168.3.30. Okay, and we're going to hook him up and straight through cable, and the only interface that he has, and then here this guy's got to go on I believe 24. So that's up. Let's see what the switch thinks. 24 is up. Okay, so I'm going to try to ping a 3.3, the switch. Well, that's not going to work. Hang on. And that's not good. Let's see if I configured the workstation properly, because I thought things were going pretty well up until then. I didn't configure a gateway. Oh, I didn't put in the IP address. I wrote it in as a note, but I didn't actually do it, which is don't do that. So now it's 3.30. Okay. So it wasn't going to find anything. It had no configuration. If I decided I wanted to put, we'll come back and set this up with a gateway later. Okay. So let's try that ping again. Okay, so now that we have configured the workstation, we can ping it. We should be able to telnet to it. Telnet is an insecure way of making a console connection. In other words, you'll see. I have to give it the IP address 192.168.3.3, and it's asking me for my password. And you notice the prompt changes to switch, so I can do all my switch stuff there, like enable. And that's just because I didn't set a password on enable. You can put a password on that if you want. Show running config. Maybe I can't call it from that. Let's see what I can do here. I thought it said enable. Let's see where I'm at here. Oh, I'll say enable again. Well, I can show those things. I should not have to be in config T in order to I don't seem to be able to do much here. There could be some problems with the passwords. I'm not exactly sure what it is. It says I can do a few things, but I don't seem to be able to get out of this particular mode. Let's try enable again. So I would have to go back and put a password on enable in order to get in there, because it's not taking me. If I do question mark here, I see the same menu. That I did before. So we could go back and do that. But anyway, the point here was to put a IP address on this VLAN, and you can see that down here at the bottom, when you look at VLAN 99, it has an IP address. And that was the point. You can set up Telnet or SSH or what have you. And then just to repeat quickly what we were doing with the trunking, if I wanted to add this 99 network to the trunk for some reason, I'm not sure why I would want to, I could easily do that. And so I'm just going to stop here. I'll get back with the resolution. I think I just need to add more passwords in order to use Telnet, and Telnet's not particularly secure anyway, so I hope you understand the point was that we can actually put a IP address on a VLAN on a switch and create remote access. Okay, thank you very much.